how bad is Biden hemorrhaging? His own side is starting to say, Biden, get out. And in this case, they're trying to even appeal to his massive megalomaniacal ego by saying, you'll be a hero if you get out. Joe, you can do it. Be the big man. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Part of why we're happy is because we're documenting every step of Trump's return to office. In this case, this is a USA Today article. USA Today is a huge mainstream American newspaper. Huge. This is mainstream Democrat opinion now coming out on this headline. We're going to read the article together and I'll do a little commentary just to show you how this is part of what announces the end of Biden. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't replace him. I believe they will replace him, but this is the first major call for him to step down by a Democrat. Here's the headline. How can Biden save America from Trump's return to the White House? Drop out of the race. Yes, Biden, save America by dropping out. I just want you guys to know that throughout this whole article, it's going to be about, they're trying to convince him to get out. And we want Biden to stay in. Please, Biden, don't let these people doubt your amazing prowess. You've got to stay in. You've got to fight. You have to show them how smart you are, how strong you are, how success. After all, you've saved our economy. You've saved the world, Biden. You have to stay in. You're so sharp. You're so experienced. Here's Joe Biden can go down in history as the person who beat Donald Trump twice, the second time by stepping aside. That's by Jeremy Mayer, opinion contributor. You couldn't wipe a smile off my face using plastic surgery after I read this article. The November election is the rematch America doesn't want. The two oldest and among most unpopular candidates in our history. It doesn't have to be that way. Republicans are stuck with former President Donald Trump. Yes, we're trapped with him. Poor me. Unless he dies or is incapacitated medically, he's their nominee. Who's more likely to die and be incapacitated medically? Is it Trump? He may have to win to stay out of jail. Well, yeah, that's true. Whose fault is that? Hardly his, but there's a way for President Joe Biden to step aside, to voluntarily remove himself for the good of the nation and the party. Biden, these are Democrats telling you that for the good of the nation, it's time for you to step aside. Biden could announce anytime this summer that he's out. He could use the same logic that got him the nomination in 2020. Was it logic? I thought the logic was they hid him from the public using COVID. He sincerely and accurately believed that he was the Democrat with the best chance to beat Trump. Now he's one of the few national Democrats who could get Trump elected. Boy, what a difference 4 years can make under Democrat rule. What changed from being the one most likely to beat Trump to the one now, one of the few ones that could actually lose to Trump? What did America experience in the last 4 years to change that? Is it suddenly now we're living under a bunch of lies? Recent polling of Biden against Trump looks ugly, which I would say looks beautiful. Guys, remember, what's ugly to them, this is like screw tape letters where everything's in opposite land. What they say looks ugly looks great. Biden has low support among the young, blacks, and Hispanic voters. Oh no, we thought they were in our pocket this whole time. They're leaving the reservation. Shackles dropping off their arms as they come out. Free at last, free at last. I think I'll think for myself. Free at last. Crucial votes in swing states. Biden is seen as too old to serve a second term by many voters. Well, Trump's pretty old too. It's not the age, guys. It's the competence, and that the media did a complete cover-up of who this candidate was. They lied to the American people. For 4 years, they've been lying. And now the USA Today guy is going like, hey, we were lying. We got caught in a lie. And now let's change and ask people to trust us again. Some perceptions of candidates can be changed, but voters are unlikely to decide that Biden is younger and more vigorous than they thought. That's right, guys. Time is a bee. Time and sequence only goes one direction. It only goes forward. There's no such thing as a time machine. Therefore, Biden's chances will only get worse. Trump's got to be in crying with happiness going, I don't know how I'm the luckiest man in the world to go up against this guy. If Democrats were to nominate Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, now here's the parade of lunatics they're going to bring out in front of us. He'd beat Trump like LeBron James posting up Kevin Hart. Basketball reference. I'm an artist. I don't get it. I know Kevin Hart is short, I guess. There are many others, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. That's America's Karen. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Trump would look old and unhinged next to their youthful competence and sober characteristics. Really, Cory Booker, Spartacus, bug-eyed Cory Booker. Trump would look unhinged. Okay. And while Vice President Kamala Harris, oh boy, the dumbest vice president in America's history, I added that, perhaps the dumbest person in politics today.
I love electric school buses.
Who polls worse against Trump than Biden does. Yes. Now, why is that? If it's all about age, if Biden's age is what makes him poll bad, what about Kamala Harris? She's a tidy young age. She's competent. She can get around. She's not too old. What happened? I thought it was all age. Would have been a serious threat to take the nomination in open primaries. There's no chance a convention of Biden delegates would select her. They want to beat Trump too badly to take that risk. Once again, I just got to ask, which of her policies is the greater risk? Is it that she's pro-women's health care? Where's the risk? She's not pro-LGBTQ enough? She's not diverse enough of a candidate? Why are Democrats suddenly going, Kamala Harris is too risk averse? I love an electric school bus. Is too risk averse. What about giving up all the advantages of incumbency? Truth be told, there aren't many this year, I'll say. Biden has had, by most standard measures, a pretty successful presidency. Oh yeah? Then why do you have to replace him? He's so successful that you have to replace him. But he's being blamed, the poor guy, for high inflation. He didn't have anything to do with the high inflation. The U.S. troops withdrawal from Afghanistan. He's getting blamed for that, though that was his entire idea. And the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, the weakness of Biden, who funded Hamas by excusing Iranian debt. He's being unfairly blamed for it. And what about the open borders? Whose fault is that? A number one issue. Who did that, Biden? I did that. Who raised the price of gas by constricting oil exploration and processing? A new face works better on intractable problems like the Middle East. Yeah, we'll just, hey, why don't you run Ilhan Omar? That'd be a good one. Wouldn't an open national convention be a chaotic disaster for the Democrats? Let's learn from Trump. When his most prominent rival, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, refused to endorse him at the 2016 Republican convention, probably because Trump called his wife ugly, which had not happened in the modern era. Trump didn't panic. He knew that the drama makes for great TV. An open Democratic convention would make for great TV. That's what he's saying is the reason why Biden should do it. It would bring attention to the come. You're going to have so many riots. It's going to be Road Warrior. It's going to be if it was any more Road Warrior, they would need Fury Rosa to drive a giant semi full of fuel to the promised land. This is the final appeal. I love this. Mr. President, you're one of the few Americans old enough to remember when conventions were fascinating and powerful. He's also one of the few presidential candidates old enough to remember the Jurassic Age. Why not go down in history as the guy to beat Trump twice and saved our republic? The first time you beat him by running, the second time you can beat him by not running. Oh, I love this. And this is by Expert, written by Jeremy Mayer, is an assistant professor. Dude, even I was a full professor. An assistant professor in the Schar School of Policy and Government at George Mason University, where he also directs the master's and PhD programs in political science. He's an expert of experts, guys. Biden, you got to drop out. What do you guys think? Will Biden stay in or will he drop out? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Doug in Exile.